Happy Tuesday, guys. Today's home workout is a CrossFit benchmark workout. It's called the Ghost. So this one is to mimic kind of like a boxing or fighting match there. Really going hard for about that 3-minute mark and then going for a quick little rest at the end. We're going for 6 rounds total. So it's a lot of cardio, so really trying to work on that aerobic engine, really trying to get that strong. For the movements, the first minute we're doing rowing. If you don't have a rower, I highly advise you guys maybe try a running option, not very far. If you have 10, 20 feet available to you, let's go for shuttle sprints. So you'll start on one end, run to the end of that distance, come back and go for as many shuttle sprints as you can within that minute to mimic that rowing for today. Burpees, I'm sure everyone would be able to do these ones, should have the space. Double unders, if you don't have a rope, we can go for some jumping jacks, or we can jump up and go for double taps to the side to kind of mimic that rope going past us twice. At the end of the round, we're resting for 1 minute, so it's a 3-to-1 kind of ratio. This means this workout we want to stay really consistent and work on that aerobic engine. That meaning that we're not going to go very fast for those minutes every single round that we do that. So for that rowing, we're not going to sprint there. We want to try to find a pace where once we finish that rower, we can comfortably get into that burpee right after that. It shouldn't take you 10 to 15 seconds to transition. It should be a quick little transition to get into the burpees. Same thing from the burpees to the double unders. If you find yourself resting or transitioning for 15 to 20 seconds, then you might have gone too fast, and that would be a good indicator for you to slow it down just a little bit more so you can be consistent and last those 6 rounds. Last round, I would say, since it's your final round there, try to go at that faster pace and try to get as many reps as you can. So it'll depend to how comfortable you are with this. If you want to go 100%, remember you got a row and then you got 2 other movements after that. So 1 minute of max out and then you have 2 more minutes of maxing out to see how that feels. Again, it's not a bad idea to do that. Again, it's good to sometimes work on that sprint pace after doing a long aerobic interval. If you are not comfortable with doing that, you can also go at an increasing intensity throughout those intervals for the last round here, for that 6th round. So go about 7 to 8 out of 10 there, 8 to 9 out of 10, and then a 10 out of 10 at the end for the double unders to really finish it off. This is a good aerobic workout, guys, to really work on that engine. It's a long one. Once we finish that workout, we're gonna go into our afterburner. Our afterburner is just to cool down, get our heart rate down. We're gonna stretch those hamstrings out. Might have felt them from the rowing or even from the shuttle sprints as well. So we'll take that time there, play around with any style of stretch you want. And you're gonna go for about 2 minutes per side there, move around, really try to get mobile, and then work on that breathing to kind of calm that heart rate down. So great overall workout for today and afterburner. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We'll see you next for the warm-up video.
Okay, let's get ready to warm up here. We're gonna start off today's warm-up with the 90-90 hip rotation. So opening up the hips. Really the 90-90 is to focus on your internal rotation and your external rotation in your hips. A lot of times, whether you're squatting, you're running, box jumping, anytime you're moving the legs, we're not necessarily moving effectively in our hips because the rotation in our femur, so your thigh bone, isn't necessarily recruiting all the correct muscles. What I'm trying to get at is your hip flexor, your psoas, to be specific, tends to get neglected. So this 90-90 really helps, guys, to open it up, loosen it up, and slowly start firing those smaller muscles. You start in your seated position, heels on the ground, guys. Knees are about 90 degrees. From here, notice how my hands are hip in line with my hips or slightly behind. You can play around with this. You're gonna drop your knees, okay? If you drop your knees and you feel feel maybe it's a stretch, whether it's on either leg, hang out there, hold it, okay? If you can't touch your knee to the floor, just gently try to push down as your body relaxes. Now it might be tricky to see, but my knees are actually about 90 degrees, both of them. That's where the name comes, the 90-90. From here, I'm going to rotate my knees to the other side without lifting my heels off the ground. So notice how I'm just rotating, but my heels did not change position, okay? So now I'm feeling a little tight here, so I can feel the stretch myself. So I can reposition my hand. The key here is do not reposition your heels. It's really easy to like, yeah, I'm doing it, but you're actually not rotating through your hips when you're moving your feet. Okay, so you're gonna rotate in your hips, so this thigh for me is externally rotating as this one is internally rotating. So I'm feeling that rotation in my hips. Then I reverse the order. External rotation, internal rotation on the opposite side. The key here, guys, use this as a stretch. Feel the rotation in your hips. As you get more comfortable, come off the ground with your hands. See, can you not move your heels, but use that core to stabilize yourself. After you've done that, now let's get that heart rate going. Let's get those muscles fired up, guys. We're gonna go for 3 rounds, 30, 20, and 10. Alternating step up. So starting with 30, alternating step ups. You're gonna go up, step down, go up, step down. Trying to fire up the hamstrings and glutes on that one, okay? Stabilize your knee, so don't let your knee drop depending on how your object is. Watch for that, okay? Once you've completed the 30, then you're gonna go into your push-up position. So your high plank. From here, shoulders over your wrist. You're gonna bring your knee to the opposite side. Bring your knee to the opposite side. You're going for 30 mountain climbers, crossing your body, getting your core fired up, okay? From there, my last movement, going for some bent over flies. So I'm using these 10-pound plates here today. I'm gonna hinge at the hips, so lean forward by sneaking my bum back. From there, my back is flat, and then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Squeeze my shoulder blades, bring it down. Do it until 30. As you squeeze your shoulder blades, don't roll forward. It's okay to bend the elbows slightly so you can maximize the usage of your upper back. If you have the flexibility in your bicep and your triceps and your back muscles, feel free to go straight, guys, but play around with it to make sure you get the most out of your back without lowering the plate down too much. So you're not doing this, okay? Try to keep them in line to your shoulders. Once you've completed 30, you're gonna roll back onto your step up for 20, repeating your movement, working your way down on the last round, doing that final round of 10. Have a great warm up. See you next in the workout. Where do you position your rope for your burpees? Then from there, you're gonna go into your burpees. So 3 to 5 burpees, finding that rhythm of what the speed is gonna be. Are you stepping into it? Are you jumping up for it? Play around with it. What works for you? Okay?
For those double unders, if you have them, let's work on those double unders today. If you're at that 30 range, for example, see if you can break them up into sets of 20, or if you want to try it, seeing if you can do bigger sets today. This is the great day to try and start, or a great workout to start doing that. If you don't have double unders, let's go single skips, or we can go for some running skips here, guys. Also, you can use that previous option from before, which is the double tap hop. So you're gonna keep the feet together, you're gonna jump up, double tap your sides for 60 reps total.
Okay, I got my gambling pose here. Getting ready for this stretch we're about to do, guys. Going for a 2-minute hamstring stretch. First option we're gonna give you here is just reaching for your hand or your foot with your hand. So as you reach forward, your leg is locked out, so at the knee, it's locked out. You are gonna round your back a little bit here. That's fine, but you're trying to feel that in that hamstring. So as you're holding it in the 2-minute for the 2 minutes, try to dig a little bit deeper by either reaching over your foot a little bit more, or as you actually doing, kind of wiggling side to side. to feel different areas of that hamstring. Breathe through it as you let go of your breath. Try to see if you can sink down a little bit deeper. Again, 2 minutes. You got time to play with it, so play with it. So this is your first stretch. Second stretch here is take a belt, take a skipping rope, take a band. It's available to you. Take it over and wrap it around your arch of your foot. You can pull your heel up towards you, keeping that leg straight. You can then start getting into your inner hamstring by dropping to the inside. If you don't feel much of a stretch, play around with it by maybe bending your knee, or you can even externally rotate at the hip, maybe internally rotate. Again, bottom line, you're playing with it for the 2 minutes while you're down there, guys. So see what feels tight for you, play with it. Then when you're done the 2 minutes, you're gonna switch to the other side. So we're going for 4 minutes of mobility flexibility today, specifically for the hamstring, whether it's the inner hamstring or not, guys. You find which area feels a little tight. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow for the workout.